What if everything you thought you knew about marriage was only scratching the surface? What if marriage is actually one of the most profound mysteries in all of creation, designed by God Himself with a purpose far greater than we imagine? Let's go back to the very beginning. In the book of Genesis, we see God creating everything. He speaks light into existence, forms the earth, fills the oceans, and creates every living creature. After each act of creation, God declares it good, but then something interesting happens. God says it's not good for man to be alone. This is the first time something isn't good in paradise, so God creates woman not as an afterthought, but as the grand finale of His creative work. He doesn't make her from the dust like Adam. Instead, He takes her from Adam's side, from his very substance. When Adam sees Eve, he bursts into the first poem in Scripture, declaring she is bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. This is profound. Marriage, according to God, begins with unity at the deepest level. Then comes one of the most important statements about marriage in all of Scripture. A man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Notice the progression here. Leaving, joining, becoming one. This isn't just about living together or signing a contract. It's about two separate individuals becoming a unified whole. But what does this oneness really mean? It's physical, certainly. The intimate union between husband and wife is sacred and celebrated throughout Scripture. But it goes deeper. It's emotional, as couples share their innermost thoughts and feelings. It's spiritual, as two people unite in their faith and journey with God together. It's practical, as they merge their lives, resources, and futures. God designed marriage as a covenant, not merely a contract. What's the difference? A contract is about protecting individual interests. A covenant is about sacrificial commitment. In biblical times, covenants were the most serious agreements possible, often sealed with blood. Marriage is a covenant where two people pledge unwavering faithfulness regardless of circumstances. This is why the marriage vows are so significant, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and health. These aren't just nice words. They're covenant promises that mirror God's unwavering commitment to His people. When couples make these vows, they're entering into something sacred that reflects God's own character. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The Bible reveals that marriage is actually a living illustration of something greater. The Apostle Paul writes that marriage between a husband and wife mirrors the relationship between Christ and the church. This is a profound mystery, he says. Marriage isn't just about human happiness. It's an earthly picture of a heavenly reality. Think about what this means. Christ loved the church and gave Himself up for her. That's the model for husbands. The church submits to Christ out of love and trust. That's the model for wives. Both roles require humility, sacrifice, and selflessness. Neither is about dominance or subservience. It's about mutual love and respect reflecting divine love. God also designed marriage with specific purposes. First, companionship. It's not good for man to be alone. We're created for relationship, and marriage provides the deepest human connection possible. Second, procreation. Be fruitful and multiply isn't just a command. It's an invitation to participate in God's creative work. Third, protection from sexual immorality. Marriage provides the proper context for sexual intimacy, but there's more. Marriage is meant to sharpen us spiritually. Living in close proximity with another flawed human exposes our selfishness, pride, and sin. This isn't a design flaw, it's intentional. Marriage is one of God's primary tools for sanctification, making us more like Christ through the daily practice of forgiveness, patience, and unconditional love. According to God, marriage is also permanent. What God has joined together, let no one separate. This isn't about trapping people in misery. It's about the security and depth that only permanence can provide. When divorce isn't an option in our minds, we're motivated to work through difficulties rather than escape them. Marriage, according to God, is also between one man and one woman. This design appears from creation and is consistently affirmed throughout Scripture. It's not about restriction, but about God's perfect design for human flourishing and the proper context for displaying Christ and the church. Ultimately, marriage, according to God, is holy. It's set apart for sacred purposes. It's not primarily about personal fulfillment, though joy is certainly part of it. It's about displaying God's glory, reflecting His covenant love, and participating in His grand story of redemption. When we understand marriage as God designed it, everything changes. It becomes not just a relationship, but a ministry, a mission, and a masterpiece.